half of the season. Had a couple days off, and we'll be able to see these teams operate in full force.
Shimanishi has been playing very high up on the pitch. Now you see him drop back in more of that defensive position.
Oliver Martin will send it across the box.
Try to get a header in.
Hey, 29, hey.
Sasaki fed the ball, facing pressure from two defenders, is knocked down in the box. The whistle blows, and the call goes Sasaki's way. The Wolverines are that'll be the Wolverines' first goal of the night on the first attempted penalty kick. A successful shot from Mitrovic. Mitar Mitrovic makes the score 1-0 early on in this game, and Louis Mitrovic hasn't, jumped quite off the page in the same way the defenders or Sasaki have, but he's made some valuable contributions too.
Absolutely. As a transfer, he played 3 seasons at Marquette between 2022 and 2024, came into Michigan, had 45 appearances with 8 goals and 5 assists, and as we see here, beautiful shot in the bottom right corner.
A little bit of misdirection on Hudson there. Who appears to be Sasaki. Drives in, tries to pass and is unsuccessful. Has another but you can't be giving the Wolverines so many opportunities to move the ball up the field and move it closer to your net.
Absolutely. That's something that you want to avoid. Defender Savic last week, or on Sunday, excuse me, when he got a red card and cut his
bit of a break until he eventually slows down. Cassidy looks to make a play. Ball's attempted. Yeah, I think as this game progresses and we saw those early fouls, we're seeing a lot of this get pretty chippy, and Ramadan will be in the box trying to go up against Goldson. Mitrovic with the kick. We send it into the middle and launched into the back of the net. Gets right past Hudson.
Beautiful
Another
header
goal for
Miller.
the Wolverines. Miller just being able to perfectly place that in the back of the net. And this is what we've talked about here. Just this entire team being pretty dynamic and being able to play up when necessary. That placement of the shot, Louis, if you have anything to add to this, it's facing off against Edelman. Sasaki on the run, being met with some more pressure. Feeds it over to Mendez, who tries to launch another shot, and it'll be deflected by Hudson. Again, I think sends it back to Goldson. Gets a little turned around there. And Vromont looks to work his way closer. And it's fed up the field to Edelman. He'll be looking for his options in the center. Vromont back with the ball. It's knocked down, the whistle's not. And something will be reviewed according to the ref. Go take a look back down the field. I believe reviewing the penalty that some of the Blue Jays weren't too happy about earlier. And the Blue Jays tries to throw Aria off his game in any way. Speeds up, and the ball gets past Goldson. Michigan Soccer Stadium is silenced as Creighton puts one on the board for the first time tonight. Just under 20 left in the half. It is 2-1 Michigan Wolverines here in Ann Arbor. The Creighton Blue Jays are on the board.
And a beautiful penalty taken here by Aria. Very calm and composed. Slots it in the bottom right corner, just past the fingertips of Goldson.
Blue Jays with the ball. Try to weave it up the side, but Mendez will be there. Tried to send it over to Sasaki. Sasaki gets the ball back, though, thanks to Matthew Fisher. Tries to launch. Hitting there a little bit with Miller as Vromont starts to weave again. Vromont giving Goldson some of the most intense pressure to Sasaki in the far left corner for the Wolverines. Sasaki weaving things inside, and it is knocked in. It is 3-1 Michigan after this goal from Mendez. Raimundo Mendez knocks it in for the Wolverines after a strong through pass from Sasaki.
Beautiful goal there by the Wolverines. Nice ball movement.
We'll take a look back here at that through pass. Just gets past everybody, but not Mendez. Not Mendez.
Unfortunately for Creighton.
Blue Jays take back the ball. Edelman with the ball. Swinging it around that back line as it gets away from him. And the shot is to O'Toole. Heads it over to Ramirez. Ramirez goes for the cross. And Cavalcanti will get in the way.
What they say, Sean, defense wins championships.
They, unfortunately for them, did not win the championship, losing in the final to rival Ohio State. But that saying does still hold true in many other instances. As we exit with the score this half being 3-1 Michigan Wolverines here in Ann Arbor, Michigan. You know, we've seen some aggressive, some chippy play, some cards come out already on the Wolverines and the Blue Jays side. But we've seen a pretty offensively dominant
Michigan players to switch roles, having midfielders play defense, defenders playing more offense. That fluidity that Michigan has really allows them to be.
Martin Herrera readies himself from strong Creighton presence in the box as Goldson gets his hands on it. Cassidy with the ball now. Launches it in the center. Creighton playing around with the ball a little bit, slowing things down and kind of allowing the Wolverines to group a little bit. Herrera trying to put a shot up that is wide to Cassidy, who's met with Shimanishi. Cassidy weaves. Blue Jays are weaving towards the goal. Quinn Rogers and Nicholas Cassidy setting up for the kick that sells what you can do in this game.
That's absolutely right, Sean.
Ball's launched up. It is towed around there. It's a cross to the Blue Jays. And he's weaving his way through. A bit of a one-on-one situation, but Goldson will stop and to determine that tempo themselves. Ball fed.
And we can see here how Michigan quickly brings up more players up in those offensive roles.
Deficit that becomes hard to overcome. Two goals, 2 scores is still easy for them to do so. As another shot is taken by them, and now I feel as though we're seeing a bigger Michigan presence in the box. Ramadan tried to get his foot on.
Players like Ramadan who stand close up to Miller, but besides that, there's not much of a height presence that could worry the Wolverines too much in the box. Not allowing too many opportunities.
Shuma Sasaki weaving past defenders, inevitably falls down as Fisher tries to put it in the back of the. Sasaki fed the ball to Cassidy, who's working his way down the field. Triple team. As O'Toole to Mitrovic, launches it up, but Hudson is there. Treating almost.
Absolutely. They've had players like Edelman and
launched deep towards Hudson. Creighton with a heavier presence. That shot's put up and it's hit off the crossbar. Goldson is able to recover it. A close moment for the Blue Jays. Closest we've seen. Duking it out there as Vromont is going to get it back and use his speed to try and weave up the field over to Shimanishi. Tries to put one over to Ramadan.
To get a foot on the ball and potentially get a goal. And here they'll try again.
Maria looking for his options and ends up being stopped. Shimanishi fed the ball. Impossible for the Creighton Blue Jays, who had 7 corner kicks to try and capitalize on. And the Michigan Wolverines will get another win this season, winning 3-1 over the Creighton Blue Jays. I think this